Violence against women is not just confined to dark alleys anymore. A husband can stalk his wife's online activity. A stalker can create a deepfake of a college student. A woman also may receive online threats for rejecting a proposal. These are the new forms of gender-based violence. Today, we have Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Raja Imam Qasim from Bengaluru's Cybercrime Division, who will explain how the law protects women when violence goes digital and what women must do when targeted. Welcome, Qasim sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for your time. So I just want to start off with the legal foundation. Under the Protection of Women in the Domestic Violence Act 2005, it said that domestic violence is not just physical, it comes under emotional, verbal and even economic abuse. In your experience as a police officer, how do you observe this in homes today?
So basically, when it comes to this particular act, the purpose of this act being enacted is to protect the woman, first and the foremost thing. It all emanates from the society and the culture in which this particular country has gone through ages. So these are the stereotypes in a male-dominated societies. Okay, so as the technology is improving, more and more women are getting into professions. They are becoming more and more independent by the virtue of being economically sound in their professions, and they are excelling in every field. But somewhere down the line, I think the society norms and cultural norms through the ages, I think the practices are that when there is a woman rising or woman getting independent, I think somewhere down the line different forms of abuse are found, be it physical harm, verbal harm, by gesture, or by not empowering her into making financial decisions or decisions in trying to make the life beautiful for the entire family. So we do find these kind of abuses. So clearly in this context, so to protect the rights of the woman, this particular act has been enacted to give protection to the woman.
So you mentioned gestures, and I think in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita in section 79, it says that any gesture or any words made to outrage a woman's modesty would be punishable. In your opinion, what kind of acts would come under gestures?
See, of course, the human gestures, whatever in the normal course of the day, nowadays you need not even speak also. So in the IT Act also these things have been described. Merely by staring at a person or bodily shaming the person by looking at a woman or a child. So this explicitly they want to communicate that you are not equal. Itself is a kind of demeaning the person, specifically the woman, to telling that you are not equal by way of his movements, either through his facial gestures or through his hands or his bodily gesture.
Sir, and our podcast theme is gender-based and domestic violence. How would you define it from a policing perspective, and why does it target women so much?
As already I told, the society in which this Indian culture comes down, I think most of the time through the ages we have seen very few women have excelled. Nowadays you find a lot of women coming out and making news and making themselves expressed in the media and the society. But whereas down the line, you have seen women had a very few opportunity to excel, and of course all these women who have excelled, they have come above the societal norms. So in this context, so for to name few, Sudha Murthy is one of the greatest examples. The way she is making the country proud by trying to be there with her husband, who is Mr. Narayan Murthy. He is also uh, come out very well in the IT sector. Equally, Sudhamurthy madam also has made waves. Like that, there are many examples who have come down the lane.
Okay, sir, and I think we discussed the more traditional forms of violence now. Before we go into women being targeted through cybercrime, I just want to know what exactly is your role in the cybercrime department, and what kind of cases do you and your team see on a daily basis?
In my present posting as a DCP Crime 2, I take care of the economic offences, narcotics, and as well as the much spoke after cyber crimes.
Okay.
So, in the cyber crimes, I think to be specifically, we find cyber stalking, doxing also is there.
Okay.
And
What's doxing, sir?
yeah, basically demeaning a person's body structure and trying to defame her. Explicitly or implicitly trying to do the things. And appropriately, there are several laws specifically on the cyber world. So India has enacted enough laws. Child protection laws are there. Prevention of women against domestic violence. That is also an act that has been enacted. IPC is there. Indian Penal Code is there. Now, of course, it is called as the BNSS. Several acts have.
So, what exactly is doxing?
Basically, doxing is one way of finding out private information about a person and use it against the person to defame or to body shame them. So it is called as
pictures
doxing.
of women
Pictures
without
and
consent.
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it is a private content. So it is for that particular person. So trying to search them and try to create the content and shame them.
Okay, so when you think about cyber crimes that are specifically towards women, apart from OTP fraud and such frauds, what patterns are the most common? What's the most common crimes?
Okay, most of the time I think on the Instagram reels and all those things. People tend to cyber stalk anyway, that is there. And cyber bullying also is there. I think even if the person is not interested also, they keep on sending again and again the friend request and then try to talk to them on the messenger part, whether be it Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook or on WhatsApp also. So they keep on trying to send message. And apart from that, matrimonial frauds are there.
Okay.
So basically, people tend to befriend them on the social media and then try to communicate. Once they befriend, they accept the thing, and then they try to send gifts. In the name of sending gifts, they con women also. So there are several offences where people have lost money in the form of receiving a gift, and later on when the gift is arriving, they try to corner that some custom has to be paid and all those things. So more people have been conned using this particular matrimonial frauds. And there are, in one such case, I found out one boy befriends a girl on Snapchat. I know Snapchat, the moment you install it will suggest some 5 friends. So this girl, she was new to the Snapchat, she accepted this particular friend request, and that boy, he started asking for intimate pictures or the pictures, private pictures. So once this girl tried to tell that I cannot share, by then he had already had his personal number of that girl. She had exchanged. She removed that person from the Snapchat, but still he was trying to contact, and then messaged her stating that if you don't try to share the pictures, so I would make a morphed image onto a nude body and then post it on to the YouTube. So these kind of things are also very familiar, specifically when women, children or teenagers, they try to find anybody asking for any kind of a content. It's the best is to avoid them on the cyberspace.
So in such a scenario, what action would you take to protect these women?
Okay, first and the foremost thing, you should not get scared if somebody, if you are, even if you have shared any picture onto the perpetrator. We have an 1930, that is a voice based calling system where you can report this kind of a things has happened. They will ask for the links, the content what you have shared, and they will take care of that, even if it is published onto the cyberspace. So the police, basically the law enforcement agency, and the state government as well as the central government, they have come up with this particular 1930. Okay, and apart from that, there is a portal called as www.cybercrime.gov.in, wherein there is an exclusive portion where women and child can report offences related to sexual offences or offences related to women on that this one. So you can boldly share the content, and the police will take care of the your complaint and act on it.
Okay.
So there is no need for you to panic. Okay, and at the same time, don't delete whatever the content, whatever the evidences that are there on your devices, be it a mobile phone or on the computer. So you will have to open up, and your content is kept confidential. It will not be shared with anybody else. And we will write to the service providers or the intermediaries, what we call Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. So to remove that content, I think the police has the privileges to take down the content that has been posted. So these are some of the avenues where you can approach the police and get the things removed.
Okay, so you mentioned online platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat. Now, when you're dealing with such platforms, are these platforms compliant, or do you have to put a lot of legal pressure on them?
Okay, basically IT Act and the rules, intermediary rules are being framed. So according to that rules, and if any content violates the what is being described in our Indian law, so definitely they will have to comply to them. So we do try to send requests to the intermediaries to bring down or to provide information about the perpetrators, and they are bound by the law and act to respond.
Okay.
So in some cases I think they do evade, but still the law provides enough tools for us to get the relevant data if it is attracting any offense.
So it was very interesting, that question, because I remember last year there was this account on Instagram where the admin would record videos of women in the metro and he would post it online. I just want to know how that case was taken care of, because at the end I think the account was shut down. What was the step-by-step process that went down?
So basically for any social media postings, you need to create an account. So we call it as a handle. So the moment we have the handle through which this particular person who was trying to take captures videos of the woman and posted them on his account, so we write to the particular intermediary where it has been posted. For example, if it is in Instagram, we will write to Instagram and get to know about his credentials, like his email ID, mobile number, and everything.
They just give it like that?
They have to give it, because if it violates that particular act and a section, and if it is amounting to the offense, it was against multiple women and their privacy.
Yes.
So definitely it attracted, and these intermediaries are very strict when it violates certain conditions. Okay, they too have their policy also to remove that such content, and they have a mechanism for the general public who use their platform to report that such content has been posted, and if more than 15 people report it is inappropriate, I think definitely the content will be removed, and they are bound by the existing rules and regulations to remove the things.
Okay, so in that particular case it was relatively easy to take it down, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, any criminal or any crime leave traces, and using those traces definitely will reach to the criminal, and the loss of the land will reach to them definitely.
Sir, and we spoke about morphing images and deepfakes. In the IT Act, Section 66E, I think, takes care of privacy and non-consensual images. But with AI coming about and these deepfakes being criminal as well, how do you investigate both of them? Because I think they should be different, right? Even if deepfakes are fake images, they still cause real problems.
Right now, it is a question whether to distinguish between the real video and the deepfake video. So the government is coming up with provisions to bring the ambit of deepfake into the offences and the violations. Of course, for any content that needs to go onto the cyberspace, it has to be uploaded from some devices or through some internet connectivity. It is not so difficult to detect such content, and definitely the government has brought in enough rules and regulations using the tools and techniques and collecting the digital evidences that are available and the digital footprint on the cyberspace. Definitely we will reach to the person who is trying to create such problems for the society.
Okay, as of today, when these laws for deepfakes are not yet made, how would you deal with the situation if it comes?
Definitely, with whatever available in our hand at the those particular provisions will be invoked, and the culprit would be brought to the books.
Okay. So when you mentioned the laws being made, is there anything you would want to put in those laws? Any recommendations you would make to people making these? You mentioned that authorities are still making laws on deepfakes and AI videos. Do you have any recommendations for these lawmakers?
Definitely, I think so. We need to regulate the use of deepfake videos and artificial intelligence, and the government is also thinking in this direction, and very soon I think the legislations also will be put in place.
Okay. Sir, if you had to tell a 20-year-old law student what exactly cybercrime against women actually includes, apart from financial frauds, how would you break it down for them in very simple terms?
See, whatever in the normal course of life, whatever the offences that are defined in the law against women, so they are done on the real world, whereas the same offence, if it is done in the form of a digital or in the cyberspace, so all this thing is possible on the cyberspace. So only the physical thing, the physical touch or the physical appearances maybe differ, or there is no proximity, but sitting elsewhere from across the world, people can perpetrate these kind of an offences.
Correct. Sir, and if someone who's listening or watching is being cyber stalked right now and is being threatened that they'll leak her photos or just other threats, what is the single most important thing she should do within the next 1 hour?
First and the foremost thing is any cyber offences, whether it is financial or non-financial or anything, you will have to be calm. The moment you realize you are the victim of a cyber crime, you will have to report it. Best thing is 1930. Second thing is www.cybercrime.gov.in, and locally 112 in Karnataka. And you need not panic what has happened, and there are ways and methods to limit the spread of the content what you have already shared. There is one more website called ncii.org, where if you report whatever the content, your private pictures, if at all it has been shared and you feel that it may be spread on the cyberspace, if you report it both anonymously or revealing your identity, that content will be taken down by the government, by the organization. They will write on your behalf to remove that particular content. So the law enforcement agency is always there with you to protect you, but only thing is you should garner enough courage to come and report before us.
So I think many people are familiar with filing FIRs, but not so much with cyber crimes. How would you say that? How different are they?
It is one more step which leads to registration of FIR. So since any offence while we report, if it is reported in the shortest possible time, that is called as a golden hour, the chances of nabbing the criminal and limiting the damage is more. Okay, so in that respect, I think reporting the things on 1930 www.cybercrime.gov.in, so it provides you without visiting a police station from your house or from wherever you are. So using your device you can report it, and later on the same content will be sent to your jurisdictional police station. The police station will approach you, call you and try to help you out in filing an FIR.
So I've noticed that despite cybercrimes being so very common, still many people don't form that connect between violence within the house, like domestic violence, and violence that happens online. Could be partners monitoring phones or stalking location, yes, or threatening any kind of leaks. How would you suggest people connect these two and also take cybercrime seriously?
Okay, first and the foremost things, there are enough avenues on the mobile devices where you can limit your movements. First and the foremost thing is your location. So until and unless you share the location with the apps, so definitely you will not come to know where you are. So there are enough provisions, so you can limit the permissions to these apps what you have installed. So when you open up your settings for the apps, what are the permissions that are being given, like for example the location, the gallery, the mic, the camera, all these things you can limit it only when you are trying to use. Other times you can stop them. So by doing that, I think you are not giving opportunity for somebody who is stalking you or somebody who has planted something on your device to stalk you. So there are enough methods where you can prevent this kind of activity.
Okay. So in the cases that you've worked till now, what have you observed that that actually stops cyber violence against women?
See, basically it is the ignorance of the person who basically become victims. So they are not aware of the procedures and processes, and in the event of any incident, how to report it, they are ignorant, and most of them are afraid of the social stigma that can bring to them when such a thing happens. So you need to come over that and report it, and definitely it can be prevented.
Okay, so and I just want to ask, in your experience, what's the most interesting cybercrime case that you have investigated?
Related to women?
Preferably related to women, but it's up to you.
There was one such case where a girl, after passing out from her school, she is shocked to find out at the age of 18-19 that her nude video is available in the YouTube. And that YouTube was not trying to remove that content, and it told that you are more than a major, you are an adult, and this content belongs to you, and our policies tell that this particular content cannot be violating our policy decisions. That's when her parents came to me, and we tried to find out who that particular person who had posted. Luckily that video was while that girl was a teen, while that girl was not a major, and she was aged about 14 or 15 while she passed out of 10th standard. And one of her neighbor had posted that video because she never accepted his proposal. So he had taken his father's mobile number and created an account, and he had recorded the videos and uploaded. It was done much earlier while she was a minor. So using that particular timeline, we approached the intermediary YouTube and told that if you don't remove the content, you are encouraging the sexually explicit content being posted on the video and sending a bad message. The moment when you gave the notice, I think that content was removed. So this kind of a content will create a lot of anxiety, depression, and it can even affect the health of the individual who is a victim.
Correct.
So now there are enough methods where you can prevent such kind of a act, But only thing is, you should come and report. And you should also discuss with your parents, friends, and boldly tell whatever that has happened. And there are locations where you can try to advertise yourself that something has happened with you, and don't trust whatever the content that is coming. That is not you in the picture, that has been morphed, and report at the earliest to the police.
Okay, sir, in the same scenario, in case the girl was above the age of 18 when it was being recorded, would it be more hard to take it down?
Still, it is not hard. I think if it violates the privacy, enough rules and regulations are there. Using those procedures, I think we have enough tools to remove that content.
So age should not be a constraint. If you're uncomfortable, they will take it down.
Definitely.
Okay. So, and one last question. Again, from the cases that you've seen, what is one thing you can say to give hope to someone who is going through something like this or has gone through something like this?
It is just a passing time. Some bad dream has happened. You forget that event, whatever that is there. You should move forward. So everybody has some or the other problems at the home. You are not the only persons who are facing that kind of a problem. Every problem has a solution. If not one, multiple solutions are there. Please approach the local police. They are there to help you out. And be confident whatever you try to do it.
So that's very comforting to hear. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.